Ah, yeah. Today I want to briefly talk about what I would call productive time wasters. I call them productive time wasters because they are things you just use to idle away time, play away time, but they actually still compound at the long term to give you a good benefit, to give you a fantastic benefit later in life. The first one I have is reading. Reading, very, 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 very beneficial to a man's life. Reading opens your brain to knowledge no one but schools will never tell you about. Reading, I'm not talking about reading school books, academic books, no. I'm talking about reading books written by people who have conquered life. People who have conquered life. Reading. The next one I have, the second one, writing. There are so many things we calculate in our head and we mix things up. There's something that you might just, or an idea you might just envision in your mind. 30 minutes down the line, you're forgotten and you're trying to remember. You can't remember it. One reason you can't get it back is because you didn't write it. When we write, we free the mental barrage. We free the mental barrage. So we have a clear head. So that barrage of information that we are receiving on a daily basis, we will know the ones that are important to us and the ones that are not important. The ones that are important to us, when we write it down, it clears our head, so we know that more ideas can come. Now, we don't only write ideas, you can also write and exercise your creativity. You can write poems, write scripts, write things. That's my second productive time waster. And the third productive time waster that I have, although this is not all, but I want to stop here because I don't want this to be long. I think the third productive time waster will be meditating or deep thinking. Now, the only meditation I really know is meditating on the word of God, on the Bible. Meditating on the word of God, on the Bible. Deep thinking, there should always be a time in your day, a set time in your day where you sit down and think deeply. What does that bring? It brings creativeness, it brings solutions to problems. For instance, when you sit down and think about a problem you have in your life, you just ponder upon that thing. Ponder one problem you have at that moment. Ponder on that one problem you have. In a matter of, let's say you started with 30 minutes, for instance, you're thinking about that in 30 minutes. You know that you can come up with a solution in 30 minutes. That same solution that you might have used 2 weeks to come up with, but because you just sat down and thought on one problem, you came up with the solution. That's the power of deep thinking. So that's where we're leaving it today, brothers. Remember, we're on the same team. I'll see you next time.